All right, let's dive into one of the most intense and honestly awkward family reunions you'll ever hear about. We're talking about a story that's been simmering for 20 years, full of fear, cunning strategy, and an ending that nobody saw coming. This is all from the ancient text of Genesis, chapter 33. So let's just put ourselves in Jacob's shoes for a second. Imagine you literally stole your brother's entire future, his birthright, his blessing, and then you ran for your life for 2 decades. Now the time has come. You have to go back. You have to face him. What do you even say? How do you prepare for that? That's the huge question hanging over this entire story. So Jacob isn't just strolling back home. He is terrified, and he has every reason to be. As he looks up, he sees his brother, Esau, coming toward him. But Esau's not alone, and what Jacob sees with him probably makes his heart stop. 400 men. Get this, 400. You don't bring 400 guys to a family reunion for a friendly hug. In Jacob's mind, this is an army. This is vengeance. His absolute worst fears are materializing right in front of him, and he just snaps into survival mode. And his survival mode is, well, it's pretty cold and calculated. He creates what is essentially a human shield out of his own family. Think about this. He puts the servant wives and their children way out in front, basically the first line of defense. Then he places Leah and her kids in the middle, and way, way in the back, as far from the danger as possible, his favorite wife Rachel and their son, Joseph. So after arranging his family in this strategic way, Jacob does something pretty stunning. He walks past all of them. He goes out in front of everyone and gets ready to face his brother's approaching army completely on his own. Okay, so this is it. This is the moment. 20 years of guilt, 20 years of running. It all comes down to this one face-to-face meeting. All the planning, the gifts he sent ahead, the careful placement of his family, it's all been leading to this. As Jacob gets closer, he starts bowing. And he doesn't just bow once. He bows down to the ground 7 times. This is a massive gesture of submission. He's making it crystal clear that he's not the arrogant schemer anymore. He's a servant approaching his master. But then, the absolute last thing Jacob or anyone expected happens. Esau doesn't draw a sword. He runs. He runs to Jacob, throws his arms around him, and kisses him. All the tension, all the fear of an attack, just dissolves into tears. The fight Jacob had been preparing for just isn't there. So, the immediate danger is over. The emotional dam has broken. But now there's a new, slightly awkward negotiation. What to do about that giant gift of goats, camels, and cattle that Jacob sent on ahead to try and appease his brother. And this exchange says everything. Esau is totally genuine. He says, dude, I'm rich. I don't need your stuff. You keep it. But Jacob just won't let it go. He insists. And you have to understand, for Jacob, this isn't about the animals. It's about getting Esau to physically accept the gift, because to him, that's the ultimate proof that he's truly been forgiven. And right here, you can almost feel 2 decades of anxiety just lifting off Jacob's shoulders. To see his brother, the man he wronged so badly, actually smile at him, he says it's like seeing the face of God. For him, that's the ultimate sign of grace, of an impossible forgiveness made real. Now, you'd think after a reunion like that, they'd be inseparable, right? Esau even says, hey, let's travel together. But it seems like Jacob, the strategist, the planner, isn't quite ready to let his guard down. The departure gets complicated. Jacob immediately has this whole list of perfectly reasonable-sounding excuses. He says, the kids are young, they can't travel fast, the flocks have babies, and if we push them too hard for even one day, they could die. It all sounds totally logical. But here's the classic Jacob move. He promises Esau, you go on ahead, and I'll catch up with you at your home in Seir. Spoiler alert, he never intended to go to Seir. The moment Esau is out of sight, Jacob turns his entire camp and heads in a different direction, toward a place called Sukkoth. The old schemer is still in there. So having managed this incredible reunion and then cleverly dodged traveling with his brother, Jacob is finally free. He can set his own path, find his own place, and really start living into his new name, Israel. And it's really telling that the first place he stops, he names Sukkoth, which literally means shelters. For the first time in 20 years, he's not on the run.
He's not living in someone else's house. He builds a house for his family and shelters for his animals. He's finally creating a place of his own.
After Sukkoth, he finally makes it all the way back to Canaan, the land that was promised to his family generations ago. And he doesn't just pass through. He actually buys a plot of land, putting down permanent legal roots in his new home. And on that piece of land, Jacob built an altar. He names it El Elohi Israel. This means God, the God of Israel. This is a huge public statement. The guy once known as Jacob, the deceiver, is now publicly claiming his new identity, Israel, and declaring who his God is, right there in his new home. Which brings us back to this amazing tension in the story. On one side, you have Esau, who offers this incredibly pure emotional forgiveness. And on the other, you have Jacob, with his human shield, his careful plans, and his final little deception. So which is it? Is this a beautiful story of reconciliation, or is it a masterclass in careful diplomacy by a man who maybe never fully trusted that the danger was past? Maybe the real lesson here is that it was both at the same time.